disorderly behavior and drunkenness on or off duty. This directive is contained in Section 26 of the revised Harmonized Armed Forces Terms and Conditions of Service signed by President Bola Tinubu on December 16, 2024. The Socio-Economic Right and Accountability Project has filed a lawsuit against President Bola Tinubu's administration and Nigeria's 36 state governors at the ECOWAS Community Court of Justice in Abuja. The suit challenges the alleged misuse of the Cybercrimes Act 2024 to suppress the freedom of expression and violate human rights, particularly those of activists, journalists, bloggers, and social media users. In a statement issued by SORAP's Deputy Director Ole explained that the provisions of the amended Act remain vague, arbitrary, and repressive, enabling authorities to criminalize legitimate expression and restrict media freedom. Away from that, Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has visited the governor of Jigawa State, Umara Namadi, and his wife Adiza over the death of their son Abdul Wahab. According to a statement by media head Bosola, the First Lady, who was accompanied by the wife of the Vice President Nana Shetima and the wife of the Speaker of the House of Representatives Fatima Tajuddin Abbas, said that the length of the man's life is an exclusive reserve of God and no one can question his timing. Governor Namadi expressed his gratitude to the President Bola Tinubu, who he said personally called him when the incident occurred, just as the First Lady had done. Prayers were offered for the family and assisted by the wife of the Vice President, Ajia Nana Shetima. And on to the National Assembly, the House of Representatives has taken a step to strengthen anti-corruption fight with the introduction of a bill to encourage whistleblowers to expose corrupt practices, particularly in the public sector. The bill, which proposes a fine of 2 million or 2 years imprisonment for disclosing a piece of confidential information provided by a whistleblower, may be considered as lawmakers are set to debate its general principles upon resumption of plenary during the next week. The Jigawa State Judicial Service Commission has dismissed 3 judicial staff for misconduct. The commission also advised 3 Shari's court judges to resign and issued the remands to 2 others for the relegation of duty. This was disclosed in a statement issued in Duse by Abbas Wangara, Director of Protocol and Publicity for the Jigawa State Judiciary. At its 178th meeting on January 7, the Commission approved disciplinary measures against personnel found guilty of violating judicial procedures and rules. 3 persons have feared that in a suspected cholera outbreak in the Isiodum community of Adoni local government area of Rivers State. It was gathered that the incident was discovered when a team from a multinational oil company visited the company to inspect a water rehabilitation project in the area. A former chairman of the Adoni local government area, Dr. Augusta Isaiah, who said he was with the oil firm working on the water rehabilitation project in the area, confirmed the incident in a statement on Saturday. Now, away from that, President Tinubu congratulated Senator John Azuta Mbata on his re-election as the President General of Ohanes and Debo worldwide. The President's spokesman, Bayo Ononuga, said that Azuta Mbata, a former senator, represented Rivers East in the Senate from 1999 to 2007. Azuta Mbata was elected as president of the Prominent Pan-Igbo Sociocultural Group at its meeting in Enugu on Friday. President Tinubu also congratulated the group on the successful leadership transition and enjoined the new leaders to uphold their principles of their predecessors. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) is seeking additional funding from the federal government in preparation for the 2027 general elections. The INEC chairman Mahmoud Yakubu said this while appearing before the Joint Committee on Electoral Matters and the National Assembly to defend the Commission's 2025 budget proposal, explaining the need for additional funding to support the key areas of INEC's work. He listed the areas needing the funding to include the continuous voter registration exercise, logistics for off-cycle elections, replacing damaged election materials like the bimodal voter accreditation system, the ballot boxes and voting cubicles, as well as repairing INEC offices in local government areas. Meanwhile, the Association of Local Government of Nigeria and the National Union of Local Government Employees have called on President Tinubu again to ensure that state governors comply with the Supreme Court's ruling on the local government autonomy. The Supreme Court had granted financial autonomy to the local government, ordering their locations to be paid directly to them, but 6 months after the verdict, the local government autonomy is yet to take effect. As governors have continued to allegedly frustrate the process, Secretary General of the Association of Local Government of Nigeria, Mohammed Abubakar, expressed concern over the delay in the implementation of autonomy for local councils. The National Assembly Joint Committee on Solid Minerals has rejected the budget estimate of the Ministry of Solid Minerals. The committee say that the estimate presented were greatly inadequate. The chairman of the Joint Committee, Senator Ekong Samson, said this after the Minister Dela Aleke presented the Ministry's 2025 budget estimate before the committee. Our kingmakers in Oyo Town, Oyo State have protested the appointment of Prince Abimbola as the new Alafin of Oyo by Governor Seyi Makinde. This appointment was announced on Friday in the statement by the State Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Dotun Oyelade, sparking controversy within traditional cycles. Oyelade said after extensive consultations with traditional divinations by the Oyomi, the Oyo Kingmakers Owade was recommended as a new Alafin of Oyo and subsequently approved by Governor Makinde. Several people were reportedly killed in an airstrike in the Kandiwa village, Marandu local government area of Zamfara State. Gabriel Umar, a resident of the area, says that the incident occurred on a Saturday evening as local vigilantes were heading to assist the neighbors in Tunga Karala village, which had come under attack by bandits. According to Umar, the vigilante group mobilized after receiving reports of bandits rustling livestock and attempting to abduct the villagers. Now, in a fresh and provoked attack by the notorious Lakurua armed group, killed 2 immigration officers in a village. The immigration officers had a spot where the border monitoring equipment will be installed when the Lakurua gunmen struck. The Lagos State Police Command has arrested a 21-year-old U.S. returnee, David Shegun, and 2 others for allegedly killing an Uber driver in Obalende area of Lagos State. The Commissioner of Police, Ishola, disclosed this while parading the suspect at the State Command headquarters on Saturday. You're watching the live broadcast of News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, where News Express returns 21 states to generate 2.5 trillion naira. We shall bring you those details as well as that of business, sports, and foreign after this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. And on to business news. Amid had the ongoing controversy surrounding the proposed tax reform bills by the current administration, the federal government and 21 out of the 36 states in the federation have projected a combined value-added tax revenue of 2.5 trillion naira for the 2025 in their respective budget estimates. Now, this projection excludes additional funds that may accrue from the implementation of the contentious tax reform bills. VAT, a consumption tax on goods and services, is levied at each stage of the supply chain where value is added. Now, the VAT revenue collected under the current administration increased by 549 billion naira within the 6 months. As the federal government approves the first telecom tariff hike in over a decade, Nigerians are demanding that mobile network operators justify the increase by delivering the substantial improvement in service quality. For years, subscribers have called for better network quality, citing frequent call drops and a slow data speeds. They argue that if the telecom companies are to benefit from the higher tariffs, consumers should experience a tangible improvement in the services they are paying for. And now the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, says the introduction of two new financial product designed to serve Nigerians living abroad. The non-resident Nigerian Ordinary Account and the non-resident Nigerian Investment Account were unveiled in a circular dated January 10, 2025 issued by the Trade and Exchange Department of the Apex Bank. The CBN in a document signed by the Acting Director of the Trade and Exchange, Dr. Kenja, says that these accounts aim to streamline remittances and encourage investment and foster financial inclusion among Nigerians in the diaspora. On the front scene, Jack Smith, the special counsel appointed to investigate Donald Trump for his alleged effort to overturn the results of the 2020 election, has left the United States Department of Justice. A statement on Smith was a footnote in the filing to Canon as she mulls whether to maintain a hold on the special counsel report and the two cases Trump wrote in the January 6, 2020 insurrection of the United States Capitol aimed at halting the certification of Joe Biden's victory, and the case of Trump's withholding of classified documents after he left the White House. South Korea's suspended President Yoon Suk will not attend the first hearing of his impeachment trial next week because of safety concerns. Yoon has been holed up in the presidential residence and protected by an elite guard force since being suspended and impeached last month following a short-lived declaration of the martial law that plunged the country into political chaos. The Constitutional Court has scheduled 5 trial dates spanning January 14 to February 4th, which will proceed in his absence if he does not attend. Californians have demanded to know who is at fault for the vast devastation caused by the raging Los Angeles wildfires, as a strict curfew went into force to prevent looting and lawlessness. At least 11 people died as the flames ripped through the neighborhoods and razed thousands of homes in a disaster that United States President Joe Biden linked to a war scene. While Anglins grapple with the heart-rending rain, anger has risen over officials' preparedness and response, particularly for the series of false evacuation alarms and after the hydrant ran dry as the firefighters battled the initial blazes. And now South Korea's Transport Ministry has said that the black boxes holding the flight data and the cockpit voice recorders for the crash Jeju Air flight that left 149 people dead stopped recording 4 minutes before the disaster. The Boeing 737-800 was flying from Thailand to Muan, South Korea on December 29, carrying 189 passengers and crew when its belly landed at the Muan airport and exploded in a fireball after slamming into a concrete barrier. The Transport Ministry said in a statement referring it to the 2 recording devices that the analysis revealed that both the CVR and the FDR data were not recorded during the 4 minutes leading up to the aircraft's collision with the localizers. And more on the front scene, the United States has introduced a new round of sanctions targeting over 400 entities connected to Russia's energy sector, prompting strong approval from Ukrainian President Zelensky. Zelensky via his ex described the sanctions as a significant step in disrupting Russia's financial and logistical networks that support its ongoing war efforts. One of the measures aim to impact key areas of Russia's energy industries, including producers, insurance companies, service providers, logistics facilities, and a fleet of 184 shadow tankers. Now, in the world of sports, Olympic champion Zheng Qin overcame the sluggish start to blast into the Australian Open second round ahead of the Iranians beginning our quest for his to-be 4th consecutive crown. Our feed seed last year's losing finalist had the honor of playing the first point on the center court at the opening Grand Slam of the season against the Romania's 110th ranked Anca Doni at the 3-set point out. Sever had a 5-3 in the first set. And on the world of sport, the British Nigerian heavyweights turned a second round knockout of Francis in a match and him CBS Sports 2024 knockout of the year, cementing his status as one of the boxing most fearsome punchers. And Joshua's versatile right hand that separated the former UFC champion from the consciousness highlighted a year that saw him compete 3 times, finishing with a record of 28-5. Barcelona coach Hansi Flick says he will maintain the same style of play he deployed against Real Madrid in the first El Clasico of the season. I recall Real Madrid were caught offside 12 times against Barcelona had the Santiago in October, going on to lose a 4-0 to repaging the Barcelona side. Now, ahead of the Super Cup clash, the German tactician sees no reason for changing the style of play. As we wrap up the News Express, let's take a look at some of the top stories. Nigeria's military personnel are now expressively prohibited from engaging in homosexuality, lesbianism, imbecility, cross-dressing, and other acts deemed contrary to the ethics of the armed forces. In the world of business, amid the ongoing controversy surrounding the proposed tax reform bill by the current administration, the federal government and 21 out of the 36 states in the federation have projected a combined value-added tax. Before you see, South Korea suspended President Yoon Soo-yeol, who will not attend the first hearing of his impeachment trial. On the sport, Arsenal hosts Man United and Sports Fest Tottenham in the FA Cup. And as a package on Global TV News Express, a quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365, start time channel 276, and free to add. Now, come say kindly follow us on our streaming platform using @Global TV NG. On behalf of the entire production team, we say thank you for joining us on News Express. My name is Edikan Michael. See you again.